Hello students, yes, we are back with E-class once again. If you remember students, in the last class, we have explained about or tried to understand the various factors determining the working capital requirements of a business organization. In that context, we have covered 6 points. If you recall, they are the nature of the business, which determine the level of working capital, the scale of operations, manufacturing cycle, business cycle, production policy and credit policy. Here we are with the continuation of the determinants in this class. Firstly, let us try to understand the influence of operating efficiency on the working capital requirements of the organization. Right? What is operating efficiency after all? Operating efficiency means the optimum utilization of the available resources in the process of production with minimum cost possible. Now let us see how does this operating efficiency determine the working capital. Right. If the firm is able to optimally utilize the resources, again that means to say, if the firm is very careful while using the various materials, that means it avoids unnecessary handling, mishandling and reduces wastage in the process of the usage of materials, then of course it is able to reduce the operating cost. When the operating cost is reduced, of course the profitability of the firm will increase. When this is possible, automatically the pressure on the requirement of working capital will be reduced. This is how the operating efficiency determines the working capital requirement. Now we will move on to the conditions of supply. Here we refer to the raw material supplies in particular. Now some of the raw material for the production may be available on a regular basis, on a continuous basis for the firm. If the materials are available regularly, that means you have the honest suppliers. Whenever you place the order, you are able to get the materials in time. Then of course, you need not have large stock of raw materials. You can have the smaller size of raw material which can be fed to the production whenever there is need. That automatically means you are blocking up a fund for a smaller period. As such, you require less working capital. At the same time, if any firm is dependent upon the raw materials which are irregular in supply or which are available only during certain season, but at the same time, if you carry on the production on a continuous basis, that means the firm is following steady production policy irrespective of the availability of raw materials, then the firm need to have the large stock of raw materials, and that means it need to hold the raw material even during off season to ensure the steady production, which means the large amount of the fund being blocked in the form of raw materials. That means conditions of supply, whether they are available regularly or not, will determine the level of working capital. Okay, next is growth and expansion. All the firms may not be static. We may observe that some firms are growing. They are growing with the size of operations. Therefore, growing firm need to forecast in advance their growth in the future, because growing firms require more amount of working capital. Again, the working capital need to be financed. before the growth takes place. Therefore, the growing firm should take the measures to see that what is its growth rate and what is the amount of working capital required in the future, so that it has to make the arrangement in the initial stage itself. Next, we will observe the price level changes. Especially we are talking about the price level changes of the inventory. We have already observed the working capital here. We are talking about the current assets and current liabilities. In the current assets, the firm makes investment. If the prices of the current asset vary, of course, it will affect the financing requirements. If the prices remain constant, that means you need to have the same level of current asset, same amount of current asset to carry on the production and sales function. But if the prices fluctuate, that will have the effect on the amount of current assets which is required for your production. But price fluctuations may have very less influence on those firms which are able to revise their prices of finished goods. If you need to have more amount of current asset because of the rise in the raw material prices, then if you are able to have the upward revision of your finished goods, then you are able to have the balance. But if you are not able to do so, then to maintain the same level of current asset, you need more investment which the firm has to plan. Next, we will go to the profit and profit appropriations. This is the technical factor which affects the working capital requirements. You have already understood how to arrive at the profit, that is the book profit which you get in the profit and loss account. That may not be available as a source of working capital finance. Why? The source of working capital finance, that is the profit which can be earned in cash. Okay, therefore net profit can become the source of working capital finance only when it is earned in profit, nothing but cash profit. You are going to study it in the 5th semester. How do you calculate the cash generated from the operation of the business? Okay, which can be made use of as a source of working capital finance. What is profit appropriations? You know, students, you have already drawn profit appropriation accounts, isn't it? There are many appropriations which you make from the available profit. Okay, we will just try to discuss about 3 points here. One is the level of taxes. You know, you make tax provisions from the profit. The level of taxes will have the influence on the working capital requirements, because you need to make the appropriation from the profit and you need to pay the tax in advance, and the proper tax planning in the organization may reduce the burden on working capital. How? You know, you have to pay the tax. At the same time, you know very well there are various concessions, there are various incentives available which can be made use of properly, so that you reduce the tax and then reduce the outflow of cash and thereby reduce the pressure on working capital. Similarly, you have dividend policy. How does dividend influence the working capital requirement? Dividend means, you know very well, that involves the immediate cash outflow from the organization. Therefore, sufficient cash resources need to be available to pay the dividend. Therefore, when you pay the dividend, it will have the effect on the working capital requirements. The cash which otherwise would have been made available for other purposes, now you are using the cash to make the payment of dividend. Therefore, here also the firm should have the proper planning as to what is the availability of the cash, what is the liquidity position of the organization, okay, can it manage with the payment of cash in a particular period of time, okay. All these things need to be analyzed before deciding to declare the dividend. The third point is depreciation policy. Now, you may I have a doubt, student. The depreciation does not involve any cash inflow. Then how can it affect the working capital position? It does affect. How? The depreciation, if you remember, students, it will come on the debit side of your profit and loss account. Correct? Higher the depreciation, what will happen to your profit? The profit will be less. Therefore, if the profit is less again, how does it influence your working capital? If the profit is less, the tax payable from you will be less, and as such, you can conserve your cash in the organization. Therefore, the firm need to have the proper depreciation provision, take the advantage of all the tax laws relating to the same. Therefore, higher the depreciation provision, lower will be your profit. Higher the debit, then you have lower credit there, the profit, and when you have lesser profit, you pay less tax, and therefore your pressure on the working capital will be very less. As such, you can understand from this that all these profit appropriations need to be planned more effectively so that the pressure on the working capital in the future will be reduced in the organization. Now we have come to the end of all the determinants of working capital. All those factors which we have studied may not influence all the firms, okay, at all the times, but that will vary from one firm to another firm, from one time to another firm, and there are some factors which are internal on which the firm can have control, and there are some factors which are external. The firm cannot have control over those factors, but should have the proper planning so that it can have less pressure on the working capital requirements. The question which you have here, the common, that is the determinants of working capital. Here we come to the end of the E-class 5 on the working capital requirement, and next in the E-class 6 we are going to do the practicals, and there we will try to understand how to calculate the operating cycle. You have already studied the concept of operating cycle earlier, if you recall. Now we have to calculate the operating cycle. That means number of days required to complete the sequence of operation, nothing but cash back to cash. That we will see in the next class. Thank you, students.